Ego Rehab, Confessions from the House of Self-Importance. Welcome to Ego Rehab, a luxury retreat for recovering self-importance addicts. If you're here, you've probably overdosed on judgment, control, or the intoxicating belief that you're running the universe. Don't feel bad. You're in good company. Every human who ever lived has, at some point, checked into this same facility, usually after realizing life isn't following their script. Here at Ego Rehab, our goal is simple: to help you laugh your way back to sanity. We don't promise enlightenment. We promise perspective, the kind that arrives when you finally see how absurd the ego's drama really is. Checking in. Most people arrive at Ego Rehab the same way, through the emergency entrance of emotional exhaustion. Maybe you've been offended by someone's opinion online. Maybe you were overlooked, underappreciated, or outshined. Or maybe you simply woke up one morning feeling fragile and declared, "The world is against me." Congratulations, that's your intake interview. The ego is addicted to being somebody. It thrives on stories where it's the star, the victim, or preferably both. As A Course in Miracles reminds us, the ego asks but one question: how can I keep this illusion real? Once you start believing the answer, you're hooked. Ego Rehab exists for the moment you realize the whole thing's a bad soap opera that's gone on too long. Step 1: admit you're powerless over your ego. The first step is confession. Say it proudly: "My name is Bob, and I'm addicted to being right." You'll hear a chorus of "Hi Bob" from fellow egoholics who understand perfectly. We've all rehearsed imaginary arguments, justified our anger, and narrated our victimhood with Oscar-worthy passion. At Ego Rehab, we call this script addiction. The ego loves its script, tragic, heroic, or romantic, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're the main character. Our job is to pry the script from your hand and remind you that you're not actually auditioning for the role of God. Step 2: resign as CEO of the universe. You may not realize it, but you've been moonlighting as the general manager of existence. You've tried to fix people, control outcomes, and edit reality. The ego insists that if only everyone would behave, the world would finally make sense. In rehab, we hold a resignation ceremony. You hand in your badge, clipboard, and bullhorn, and admit you have no idea what's best for anyone, not even yourself. The relief is immediate. Once you stop trying to run the universe, you discover that it operates just fine without your supervision. Step 3: judgment detox. The hardest part of detox isn't caffeine, sugar, or your phone, it's judgment withdrawal. The ego lives on judgment, it's its favorite snack. Every comparison, complaint, and criticism feeds it. We offer a 30-day cleanse, no judgments, not even of yourself. The first few days are rough. You'll feel twitchy, tempted to declare that someone or something is wrong. But stay strong. Within a week, you'll begin to notice side effects: calmness, compassion, maybe even joy. As A Course in Miracles puts it, peace and judgment cannot coexist. Here, we choose peace, and laughter is our medicine. Step 4: laugh therapy. This is the heart of Ego Rehab. We take the Course's advice literally: into eternity, where all is one, there crept a tiny mad idea, at which the Son of God remembered not to laugh. Our goal is to help you remember how. We begin each day with Ego Improv. Participants act out their most ridiculous grievances: missed parking spaces, slow Wi-Fi, unreturned texts, and the rest of the group howls with laughter. It's therapy through absurdity. By the end, you realize how small the ego's voice really is. Someone once said that enlightenment is simply taking yourself less seriously. Here, we take that seriously. Step 5. The Mirror Exercise. In this exercise, you face your reflection and greet it warmly. Well, look who thinks he's real today. This may sound silly, but it's incredibly effective. The ego thrives on image, on convincing you that the reflection in the mirror is you. When you laugh at that reflection, you deflate the illusion. You begin to sense that the true you can't possibly fit into a mirror. You are something vast, beyond name, age, or circumstance. The ego hates this discovery. It sulks. You laugh harder. Step 6. Forgiveness Fitness. Forgiveness is the weightlifting portion of our program. Each grievance you carry weighs about 50 pounds. Some guests walk in with enough grudges to bench press a bus. The first step is setting them down. Forgiveness, as we teach it, doesn't mean condoning behavior. It means refusing to carry the story. You stop saying, "They hurt me," and start realizing, "I chose to see it that way." The results are instant. Your heart feels lighter, your mind clearer. It's the spiritual equivalent of trading in an old backpack of rocks for a pair of angel wings. Step 7. Relapse Prevention. The ego is sneaky. It can relapse in the time it takes to scroll social media. Suddenly you're back to defending opinions or criticizing strangers. That's okay, relapse is part of recovery. The key is recognition. When you catch yourself spiraling into outrage, we recommend the holy pause. Stop. Breathe. Smile. Whisper, "Ah, there you are again, old friend." Then, as one of our favorite course lines says, do not fight yourself. Fighting the ego only strengthens it. Laughing at it dissolves it. Step 8. Silence, the ultimate cure. In rehab, we schedule mandatory quiet time. No talking, no thinking about what to say next. The ego panics at first. It thrives on noise, opinions, and commentary. Silence exposes it for what it is: nothing but a voice without substance. The first time you sit quietly long enough, you may notice something strange beneath the static, a deep stillness that feels like home. That's not rehab working. That's you remembering who you are. Step 9. Graduation Day. You know you're ready to graduate when you stop caring about graduating. The moment you stop trying to be spiritual, you already are. Our ceremony is short and sweet. We hand you a certificate that reads, "Congratulations. You are officially nobody," and it feels great. There are no gold stars, no halos, no robes. Just laughter, lightness, and the dawning realization that the less you identify with the ego, the more love shines through. Step 10. Aftercare Plan. After discharge, the world will test your recovery. Expect triggers: political debates, family dinners, long lines at the grocery store. The ego will whisper, "See? You're enlightened." They aren't. That's your cue to laugh again. Our recommended maintenance plan is simple. 1. Start each morning by forgiving the world in advance. 2. End each night with gratitude for every ego flare-up, it's proof you're still human. 3. Keep laughter as your first response, not your last. As the Course reminds us, the Holy Spirit uses everything for good. Even your ego tantrums become opportunities to smile and return to peace. Epilogue: the never-ending stay. Ego rehab isn't a real place. It's a state of mind, a willingness to see the madness and not take it seriously. Every time you laugh instead of react, you check yourself back in. Every time you forgive instead of defend, you extend your stay in serenity. The irony is, the ego doesn't die here, it just loses its job. It becomes a harmless background actor, occasionally shouting, "What about me?" and receiving a gentle pat on the head in return. Some guests return occasionally, usually after falling for the old bait, "You're right, and they're wrong." But each visit is shorter, the laughter louder, and the recovery quicker. Eventually, the ego's voice fades into comic relief. And that's the real miracle. You don't overcome the ego by fighting it, you outgrow it by laughing. You laugh at its paranoia, its pride, its desperate need to be special. You laugh until all that's left is peace. So, if you ever feel yourself slipping back into seriousness, just remember our rehab prayer. God, grant me the humor to see the ego's nonsense, the grace to let it go, and the wisdom to stop taking myself so seriously. Now breathe, smile, and remember, nothing real can be threatened, and nothing unreal exists. You've already graduated. You just forgot to laugh. Well, if you made it this far without your ego interrupting, congratulations. What you just heard was one chapter from my book Laughing at the Ego, Finding Heaven One Chuckle at a Time. If your ego's still frowning, that's okay, it hates being laughed at. Which is exactly why you should like this video, subscribe to the channel, and visit dinojamesbooks.com before it talks you out of it. Go ahead, show your ego who's boss. Click the button. I'll wait. Remember, enlightenment doesn't have to be serious. In fact, if it is, you're doing it wrong. See you in the next laugh. Use this QR code to order your copy of the book.